Namaste, good morning. Our focus today is going to give us some 15-16 marks. That is the two areas, sure short questions of charitable trust, TDS, TCS, and advanced tax. Okay, without wasting time. Question number 11. It's there, the material itself, poster is yesterday itself. Okay, the same one. The following are the incomes and spendings of a registered charitable trust. Compute the taxable income and tax payable under various provisions of law. Income from various properties held under the trust 18 crore 10 lakh 40,000. Contribution, voluntary contribution, including 40 lakhs of anonymous donation and 50 lakhs of corpus donation. Incidental business, one of the trustees of the opinion that it is fully taxable. Loan received for purchase of computers and other assets. Operational expenses, purchase of computers and other assets. Depreciation on asset purchased in the past year which has been claimed as utilization in the income tax computation of respective years. Repayment of loan taken in 21-22 for purchase of asset. Brought forward loss. The loss of the last year was funded by utilizing the corpus. During the year, 10 lakhs was transferred to corpus deposit as against the 17 lakhs utilized. Other information. Out of the income from property held, 15 lakhs accrued but not received and 15 lakhs received on the last date. Operational expenses include 1 lakh paid by crossed check, 9 lakh paid without deducting tax at source, 12 lakhs accrued but not paid, however it is paid in May 23, 15 lakhs expenditure benefiting the relative of the trustee or the author of the trust, 20 lakhs given as donation to another trust of which 5 lakhs is towards the corpus. The trust has accumulated for a period of 3 years 25 lakhs for purchase of new asset. 3 years ends now, but it has only utilized the 22 lakh. The trust is of the opinion that the balance 3 lakhs can be offered in 23-24 after end of 3 years. The trust is also proposing construction of a new building. The estimated completion time seeks your opinion on the formalities to set apart the money for construction of the said building. Read through. Shall we? Okay. Now from the top I am again coming. Okay. The income of the property of the trust 18 crore 10 lakh 40. In that, whatever is not received or whatever is received which cannot be applied, that it is received in the last date, we can file forms and defer it. I take this opportunity to tell you the amendment on this. Suppose two things. What happens? We will write also while doing the solution. I have received but impracticable to apply. I received it at the fag end, impracticable to apply, then it should be applied in the immediate succeeding year. Where it is not applied, 30% taxation under the new era. The unapplied amount will be taxed at 30%, 115 BBI. The money accrued but not received, I have 2 years time. You should spend it either in the year of receipt or in the immediate succeeding year. Again, whatever is unapplied will be taxable at 30%. This is one. Voluntary contribution, 40 lakhs anonymous donation, 115 BBC, we will work it out. 50 lakhs corpus donation. If the question is silent, assume that the corpus has been kept deposited in the mode specified under 11.5 and specifically write. That's why I have not treated it as income. Incidental business. The whole point is it 20% or okay, out of the total receipt? If it is up to 20%, then no problem. In this case, yes, 18 crores is the income from property of the trust, and there is some general donation also, so it is less than 20%, so it will not be considered. Only if it is more than 20%, that year you lose the benefit. Okay, here it is not a problem. Loan for purchase of asset. So neither the loan is an income nor the loan money utilized is an expenditure, utilization. It will not be claimed as utilization. So this one out of this 180 which I have utilized, only 30 I can claim. Only 30 lakhs I can claim. Okay, only 30 lakhs I can claim because out of 180 I got 150 from loan. Okay, depreciation I cannot claim because I have claimed it as utilization. Repayment of loan taken in 21-22. Now உங்களுக்கு தெளிவா சொல்றேன். In the amendment 21-22 in the loan cannot be taken corpus, அதுக்கு முன்னாடி இருக்கிற அசெட் ஏதாவது லோன் ரீபே பண்ணா இந்த லோனை ரீபே பண்றது you can claim it as a utilization, because in 21-22 whatever asset I have purchased using that loan, I would not have treated that asset as utilization. இப்போ இந்த 1 crore 50 lakhs இருக்குல்ல, in the 1 crore 50 lakhs I can treat it as utilization whenever that loan is repaid. So like that you can take it. There is no question of any brought forward loss under trust from Finance Act 21. So no question of any deduction over this. The loss of the year was funded. Last year I have used the corpus donation for my operational activity. The law tells me whenever I replenish, whenever I am going to again deposit in the corpus, so okay, I can claim it as deduction. So this 10 lakhs I will claim it as deduction in the current year. 50, okay. Operation 1 lakh paid by cash, 40A3 violation not allowed. 70% of resident contractor expenses will only be allowed, 30% not allowed. Okay, 12 lakhs accrued but not paid. Finance Act 22's major amendment include henceforth trust can account only on cash basis. Henceforth trust can only account on cash basis. The amendment says it can only account on cash basis, and whatever has already been accounted, whatever has already been accounted, if it has in the previous year been claimed on accrual basis, now you cannot claim from this year, from Finance Act 22. So this 12 lakhs will not be allowed. 15 lakhs specified violation, 115 BBI. 20 lakhs, 5 lakhs is not allowed, only 15 lakhs will be allowed. Donation to another trust with the direction that it will form part of the corpus of the trust will not be allowed. The second major amendment that Finance Act 22 did is, there were all along a controversy. Suppose I have applied, okay, in what is popularly known as 11-2 conditional accumulation. நான் வந்து ஒரு 3 years கழிச்சு ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்றேன், 3 yearsக்குள்ள ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்றேன். It became taxable in the unutilized amount became taxable in the 4th year. But Finance Act 22 has said when the 3 years is over now, it is tax, and you know that it is unutilized. Why are you waiting for the 4th year? It is taxable at the end of year 3. Okay, so the unutilized amount will become taxable, and this year I am planning to have a conditional accumulation of 30 lakhs. I should deposit it in the mode specified under 11-2 and use it for the specified purpose. The business income is less than 20% of gross receipts and it is incidental. Hence, it is within permissible limits. You want to include the business income part of it also. Yeah, you can include. You can include. Out gross receipts include that also. Yeah, you are right. But here I now itself satisfied. That's why the business income is less than 20% of gross receipt and it is incidental. Hence, it is within permissible limit. The trust will not lose its I will do a separate working note for operational expenses. Okay, leave one side and come to that. Okay, okay. I will later copy it in this page. Okay, I will later copy it in this page. Operational expenses claimed 12 crores. Okay, 40A3 violation, payment in excess of rupees 10,000 otherwise than by approved modes. Nine lakhs. from the financial year 22-23 Finance Act 22, trust can claim expenditure only on cash basis, that is payment basis, where it is accrued but not paid, then only in the year of payment. Okay, I will write the other provision also here itself, just to park it here so that you are aware. Where, however, where in any of the preceding years it is claimed on accrual basis, then it cannot be claimed donation given to another trust with the direction that it shall form part of corpus of the other trust. In other words, if it is towards corpus of the other trust, then it cannot be claimed. So out of 20 lakhs, 5 lakhs I cannot claim. Correct. Allowable operational expenses. Are you understanding? 11 lakh 64, 11 crore 64 lakh 30,000 is the allowable operational expenses. Allowable operational expenses 11 crore 64 lakh 30,000. purchase of assets from the income of the trust. Okay, where loan is received, then it is not an income, and purchase of asset using such loan is not an utilization. This can be claimed only in the year in which such loan is repaid. So, my dear friends, 30 lakhs can only be claimed. 180 minus 150, I got it as loan. That is business income. No. Within the limit, you should include. It is within the limit நால அது exempt கிடையாது ராஜா. இப்போ suppose என்னுடைய business income is more than 20% na, this year I cannot claim exemption. Whatever is the business income, I should include. It is an income. That is an additional condition tested to just ensure that this year I can claim exemption. It is not that if it is within 20%, it's not an income. No, it's an income. Okay, out of 180, I got 150 from the loan. I got 150 from loan, so the remaining can only be claimed. What's wrong? Okay. Depreciation I cannot claim. இதுக்கெல்லாம் கடைசியா notes எழுதுறேன். Okay, depreciation where the asset has been claimed as utilization. இப்போ இந்த computer இருக்கு, இதுக்கு I cannot claim the depreciation next year and all. Okay, even though in the books I can. Repayment of loan. Now repayment will be considered as an utilization 10 lakh. Am I clear to you? Am I clear to you? Okay, okay, right. Okay. Last year, I have used the corpus donation. Okay. First, let us understand that if the corpus donation is not kept deposited, then I would have treated it as income. If the corpus donation has not kept deposited, I would have taken it as income. And the law says, in the year in which you are again depositing, in the year in which you are depositing the corpus, claim it as a utilization. So last year 17 lakhs, some loss which I had, how will I fund my loss? லோன் வாங்கி ஃபண்ட் பண்ணலாம், இல்ல கார்பஸ் டொனேஷன்ல எடுத்து தான் ஃபண்ட் பண்ண முடியும். ஒரு ட்ரஸ்ட்டுக்கு வேற எதுவுமே கிடையாது. So I have used the corpus donation to fund that loss. Loss cannot be carried forward. இப்போ loss அந்த 17 lakhs adjust பண்ண முடியுமா? முடியாது. But whenever you are redepositing it back to the corpus donation, you can claim it as a deduction. Is the class clear? Okay. So the 10 lakhs, I will treat it as utilization. The 10 lakhs, I will treat it as utilization. Income accrued but not received. For these two things, I will write a detailed note at the end so that you are more clear. 15 lakhs. Impracticable to apply. Am I clear? Am I clear? Conditional accumulation for the current year. The trust intend to construct a building and it can apply to the AO stating the purpose for which the fund is accumulated. This should be kept deposited in modes specified under 11.5. They are planning to purchase a building or they are planning to construct a building. That is what the last information says. For 30 lakhs, they are planning to construct a building for rupees 30 lakhs, which I can take it as conditional accumulation. Conditional accumulation granted 3 years back, the unutilized amount will become taxable at the end of the 3rd year. Finance Act. Finance Act has clearly said that, boss, if you have not utilized it, it is taxable at the end of the year, third year. Okay, so probably I got it in the financial year 1920, 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23. 31,323, you know what is the unutilized amount that becomes taxable in the finance year 22-23, because the erstwhile provision said it is taxable in the immediate after the end of 3 years, but that is gone. So this money which has not been utilized, 3 lakhs, they accumulated 25 lakhs. They utilized only 22 lakhs. That 3 lakhs becomes taxable. Am I clear to you? Am I clear to you, my dear friends? Am I clear to you? Okay, right? Compute the tax also. You know what is the rate of tax applicable for a trust? At what rate trust is taxable? At the slab rates, at the normal rates. However, section 115 BBI, specified violations are taxable at 30%. Specified violations are taxable at 30%. That is, whatever has been paid to that author of the trust or trustees, those are taxable at 30%. Anyhow, in this case, obviously they have exceeded the 30% limit. Okay, so before that, I am going to take up with the anonymous donation part. Okay, anonymous donation part. Total donation received, total voluntary contribution received is 2 crores. Anonymous donation. Anonymous donation is 40 lakhs. Anonymous donation is 40 lakhs. Please understand. Please understand what can be the maximum according to section 115 BBC. Okay. Anonymous donation taxable at normal rates. 5% of total donation or whichever is higher. So 10 lakhs is taxable at normal rates. Anonymous donation taxable at special rate, that is 30% is 5% of the total donation or 1 lakh, whichever is higher, is taxable at normal rates. Balance of anonymous donation is taxable under 115 BBC at 30%. There are two schools of thought which I want you to understand. There is a school of thought which says, boss, in this 10 lakhs also you can claim 15% unconditional accumulation. There is a school of thought says, even though it is 10 lakhs, it is not the whole of the 10 lakhs which is taxable. You can still claim that 15% on the 10 lakhs. So 150, the remaining 850 will only be taxable. The other school of thought says, no, since it is mentioned in 115 BBC, because normally in the 115 வர எதுக்குமே expenses கிடையாது. When it is spoken about in 115, they don't normally say that expenses will be allowed. So, since it is spoken about in 115 BBH, yesterday we saw virtual digital assets, expenses correct. Since it is spoken about in 115, expenditure cannot be that 15%. There is no clarity yet. There is no clarity yet, which leads us to give two answers. Okay, in the examination also, it is mandatory that you give two answers. Okay. Where only 85% of the anonymous donation taxable at normal rates is considered. How much is that? 15 lakhs. Huh? 3 crore 59 lakh 84,000 into 30% plus 1 lakh 12,500 plus 1 lakh 12,500. This is option 2. You should ask me, what do you want? Last switch. Yeah. Offer to திருப்பி போடுங்க. Yeah. If you want the fact, AF னு இருக்கும். Am I clear to you? Am I clear to you? Now for the notes, so that we are nailing it completely. Before that, I'll copy it here. Depreciation cannot be claimed on asset which are claimed as utilization in the past years. Depreciation cannot be claimed for assets which are used as utilization in the past years. Brought forward loss cannot be claimed. Income received during the last period. This can be claimed as utilization. However, this should be used in the immediately succeeding year. The amended Finance Act 22 specifies where it is not utilized within income accrued but not received. This should be utilized in the year of receipt or in the immediately succeeding year. Where it is not utilized, then according to the amended Finance Act 22, it will be taxable. Am I clear to you? Okay, these are known as specified violations. Okay, expect questions on these things. Actually, the law is silent, so now you cannot tax it as, you will only tax it as a normal item. From finance, a prospective amendment. Are you clear? Are you clear? Okay. Okay, friends. So this is one of the amendments which I want you to note down. Okay, right. Otherwise also I have a purely amendment related question on trust. Amendments to trust that happened in Finance Act 22. Amendments to trust that happened in Finance Act 22. Okay. Exemption under section 1023C. Basically, my dear friends, what is 1023C all about? 1023C is for smaller entities which can claim exemption without satisfying much of the conditions also. Why there are two sections? 10, 11. 11 is for a larger trust. 1023C is for a smaller trust with the primary aim of education and medical. With the primary aim of education and medical. A quick look at 1023C, okay, tells us that three types of trust falls in this. Three types of trust falls in this. One is government funded, that is at least 51% of the substantially financed by the government. Substantially funded by the government. Government hospital, government schools, basically. Okay, இவங்களுக்கு இன்னும் இந்த செக்ஷன்ல எந்த ப்ராப்ளமும் இல்லை. They can claim. No issues. No issues. Smaller trust. What is a smaller trust? The aggregate income does not go beyond 5 crores. The aggregate does not go. Aggregate means if in my trust I have a hospital as well as a medical college, Ramachandra, SRM. I have a hospital as well as a trust. The previous, the erstwhile law said individually I will measure the threshold. No, now it is collectively. Now it is collectively, it should not exceed 5 crores. இப்பயும் இவங்களுக்கும் எந்த ப்ராப்ளமும் இல்லை. Then comes the third, education, medical, others. Okay. For them only, now I am integrating them with section 11. Just because you are registered under 1023C, you were not following many of the normal things which a trust follow. No, now you also come under all provisions of section 11 is applicable to them. So if you look at the amendments, there will be 20 amendments. But in the 20, நமக்கு ஏற்கனவே தெரியும். We have studied it under section 11. Now it is applicable for them also. Maintain books, get them audited. If your income before claiming exemption exceeds the basic exemption limit. Okay, 15% conditional accumulation, 48(3) provisions, 40 provisions. You have to you specified violation, exit tax regime, everything is applicable now for this third category of people. So I just took the notes also for your purpose. Okay. So the category 1, because we'll quickly go through the notes also. The category 1 is the people which is substantially funded by the government, which is substantially financed by the government. They don't have any problem in still claiming this benefit. They don't have any problem in still claiming this benefit. Okay. The next is smaller one. Annual receipt does not exceed 5 crores. It is aggregate annual receipt, and that has been clarified by the Finance Act, where a trust is having educational institution as well as a hospital or other institution. Then for determining the threshold, the combined annual receipt will be considered. If the aggregate annual receipt exceeds 5 crores, it will. இவங்களுக்கும் எந்த ப்ராப்ளமும் இல்லை. Still they can claim. Not many conditions are applicable to them. இந்த third categoryல முன்னெல்லாம் approved authority, prescribed authority அப்படின்னு இருந்தது. இப்ப 11ல யார் approved authorityயோ அவங்க தான் இவங்களுக்கும். Whoever is granting under 11 any other fund approved by the PCIT or CIT, trust for public religious purposes, PCIT, CIT, okay, any educational institutions, okay, right, all religious institutions. Let me be very clear, loud and clear again. All religious institutions can only fall under 1023C. 11ல ஒரு religious institution register பண்ணிக்க முடியாது. 11 section 11 12 any expenditure which benefits a particular caste or religion is not allowed. It's a specified violation. If you are a trust registered under section 11, law ரொம்ப clear சொல்றேன். If you are a trust registered under section 11 and spending a money which benefits any religious or caste, then it is a specified violation. Because if you are a religious trust, come under 1023C. Why are you coming under there? சரி, எல்லாரும் 1023Cல ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணி பெனிஃபிட் கிளைம் பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தாங்க. No. You are also supposed to maintain books, get them audited, etc. Okay. Okay. The major amendments is institution trust falling under the last three categories need to get themselves registered and follow all aspects of 11. Income computation, application of income, allowances, disallowances, registration, maintenance of book, mandatory audit, and consequences for violation are as like section 11. And also exit tax regime under 115 TTD is applicable for them. That is the major amendment for 1023C. That is the major amendment for 1023C. Okay. Okay. Quicker note in your notebook. Okay. Exemption under 1023C. Under that, the third category of trust and institutions are falling under the registration and general computational rules. Are falling under the registration and general computation route. Okay, அவங்களுக்கு ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷனும் mandatory, general computation நாம என்னெல்லாம் allow பண்ணுவோம் disallow பண்ணுவோம், full stop, continue. Even exit tax regime is applicable for them. These trusts have to maintain books and get them audited. Okay, okay, right. This is the first major. Penalty under 271 AAE. Penalty ல இந்த வாட்டி question இருக்கும் நான் நினைக்கிறேன். Penalty under specified violation. Okay, penalty for specified violation. Penalty for specified violation. Penalty for specified violation, full stop, continue, where it is first time, okay, then 100% of the income, where it is first time, then 100% of the income or the expenditure, that is okay, where it is next, where it occurs subsequently, 200%, twice the amount, where it occurs subsequently, twice the amount. Am I clear? Okay, so here again I'm taking the my book and telling you penalty for benefit to specified person. Provision is applicable for trust and institution falling in the third category of 1023C and all trust falling under 11 and 12. Such institution has made payment which benefits specified persons like author, trust, relatives, substantial contributor, 50,000 or more, and relative of substantial contributor. 100% of the income applied if it is for the first time, 200% if it is going to occur every time, if it is going to be if it is if it's your habit, okay, 200%. Okay, am I clear to you? என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் பெனால்ட்டிலேருந்து இது கொஸ்டின் வரப்போறதுன்னு தான் I personally feel. Cancellation of registration. Okay, in these cases registration can be cancelled. In these cases இப்போ நான் உங்கள்கிட்ட ஒன்று சொல்றேன், mandatory-ஆ cancel பண்ணணுமா? No. I am going to relate and tell you about section 143 subsection 2 subsection 3 and cancellation of registration. The assessing officer has noted that there is a specified violation or the trust has done something which they are not supposed to do. They are okay, என்ன பண்ணிருக்காங்க, okay, any income that has been used for other than the object of the trust. இது வந்து practically we will speak sometime. Income of the fund arising from business, trade or commercial activity which is not incidental to the object of the trust. Separate books are not maintained. Activities is carried out by the fund which is not genuine or not carried out in accordance with the fund or institution has violated the requirement of any other law which has attained its finality or where you have not preferred an appeal. In the cases I am the assessing officer, I have noted that there is a specified violation. I will immediately, I cannot cancel registration. Registration can be cancelled by the same person who granted it. So I will inform the AO, boss, I have identified some, I will inform the commissioner or principal commissioner, specified. Once the commissioner gets it, he can call for such records or documents. And the commissioner refer பண்ற section 143 subsection 3. In the next class I will tell you about that. Okay, call for other amendment அங்க. Okay, that amendment is he should refer the case to the commissioner where he has identified. Refer பண்ணிட்ட. Now commissioner takes over. He will call for such record, make enquiry as he deems fit. pass an order in writing cancelling the approval granted on or before specified date. Remember, இது வந்து நம்மளுடைய MCQல வரலாம். Within 6 months from the end of the quarter in which notice is set. Within 6 months from the date of notice இல்ல, from the end of the month of the notice இல்ல, from the end of the quarter, April, May, June, first quarter, June, July, August, September, second quarter, December, March, and the quarter முடிஞ்சதுல 6 months குள்ள I have to pass the order which was not previously there. Previously there was no time limit specified. Now the time limit is specified. Pass an order in writing cancelling the approval granted on or before the specified date. However, such order cannot be passed without principle of natural justice. He can also say, I don't think this require a cancellation. Okay. He also has the power refusing to cancel the approval granted. Order shall be forwarded both to the assessee and assessing officer. ஏன்னா இந்த லாஸ்ட் பார்ட்டுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு பார்ட் இருக்கு. ஆர்டரா படிச்சோம்னா லால இது வந்து 11 and 12 சொல்லிருக்காங்க. 13 அது வந்து 143.3. You will wonder why that point, last point, assessing officer. ஏன்னா assessing officer தான் ரெஃபர் பண்ணார் கேஸ். 143.3 is amended in such a manner that the assessing officer refers the case to the commissioner asking him to cancel the registration because that is specified. அதுக்கப்புறம் assessing officer power கிடையாது. The person who granted the exemption can only cancel it also. So commissioner, what commissioner should do, and there is a date given, the time limit given, 6 months from the end of the quarter in which it has been. Am I clear to you? Okay, this is with regard to cancellation of registration. This is with regard to cancellation of registration. Okay.
6 months from the end of the
quarter.
Quarter வந்து notice time இருந்தா இல்லனா violation time.
இல்ல சார், நோட்டீஸ் தெரியுது. ஏன்னா அசசிங் ஆபீசர் வந்து ஓகே 6 months from the in which the first notice issued by the commissioner. வயலேஷன்ல இருந்து எப்படி சார் 6 months இருக்க முடியும்? ஏன்னா நமக்கு வந்து அசஸ்மெண்டே ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்காதே. வயலேஷன் 22-23ல not even from the time AO refers to the commissioner. Commissioner அனுப்புற நோட்டீஸ் அதுல 6 months. Am I clear to you? Okay, right. So don't worry, I'll give you the answer for this. Okay, okay. நான் எக்ஸல்ல போட்டுறேன், இப்போதைக்கு புரிஞ்சுங்க, அது போதும். அதுதான் நெக்ஸ்ட் क्वेश्चनோட ஆன்சரும். ஓகே, ஓகே. நெக்ஸ்ட் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் क्वेश्चन இஸ் இன்கம் கம்ப்யூட்டேஷன் இன் கேஸ் ஆஃப் டினையல் ஆஃப் எக்ஸம்ஷன். இத பத்தி நம்ம லால சொல்லாம விட்டுட்டாங்க. ஓகே, யூ கேன் கேன்சல் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன். சரி, கேன்சல் பண்ணிட்டேன். அப்புறம் ரொம்ப லா ஓபனா இருந்தது. ஓகே, ரைட். நவ் தே ஹவ் செட், I want you to write down this particular part. Income computation in case of denial of exemption. Where exemption is denied, first அதை எழுதிக்கலாம். Where exemption is denied due to non-maintenance of books, not getting books audited, not filing the return within due date, having business income exceeding 20% or having business income exceeding 20% or having business income which is not incidental. Having business income which is not incidental. In the case la eppadi na compute பண்ணுவேன். Okay. Under that, the following will not be allowed. The following will not be allowed. The following expenditures will not be allowed. A, capital expenditure. This is the major thing. ஏன்னா நம்ம usually capital expenditure we can claim it as utilization. We can claim it as utilization. Now you cannot claim. A, capital expenditure. B, expenditure from corpus or loan. C, expenditure paid outside India. D, any type of donation. ஞாபகம் வச்சுங்க, normally in our normal computation donation given without a direction of corpus is allowed. Utilization I will claim. Here you cannot claim. அதாவது இது PGBP க்கு எடுத்துன்னு போயிட்டாங்க. PGBP la what you can allow? That can only be allowed here. PGBP la we all know donation cannot be claimed. Here also you cannot claim. PGBP la we know only revenue expenditure can be claimed. Here also that can only be claimed. Literally, if your trust registration is cancelled, sir, நீங்க ஒரு business assessee sir, நீங்க அங்க வாங்க. Okay, that's the logic. That's the logic. Depreciation on assets which have been claimed as utilization in the past. Claim பண்ண முடியாது. These are not allowed. நார்மலா claim பண்ண முடியுமே. இப்போ which has been utilized. அது அங்கேயும் claim பண்ண முடியாது, இங்கேயும் claim பண்ண முடியாது. That's what you are saying. I accept with that. But இப்போ நான் ஒரு capital expenditure disallow பண்றேன். அந்த கேஸ்ல நான் depreciation claim பண்ணலாம். நான் இந்த if it comes under this methodology. Okay, but நான் some other year capital expenditure incur பண்ணிருக்கேன். நார்மலா business assessee claim பண்ணலாம் depreciation. But if you are a trust who is losing the exemption, when I granted the exemption, you have claimed it, that capital asset. Now I will not give you that depreciation. Other logic idodu. Okay, any expenditure, sir.
From the current year it won't be allowed, but previous years also won't be.
Sir, previous years எப்படி allowed கிடையாது. அதான் அவன் சொன்னான். சார் அது எப்படியுமே கிளைம் பண்ண முடியாது நானு அப்படின்னா என்ன சொல்றேன்னா, நான் ஒரு வருஷம் நான் கம்ப்யூட்டர் வாங்கியிருக்கேன் சார், ஆர் பில்டிங் கட்டியிருக்கேன், அதை நான் யூட்டிலைசேஷனா கிளைம் பண்ணிட்டேன். I can never claim depreciation for that, whether I am coming under 11, 12 or denial of exemption. Why it is said here? That's what I am trying to explain. When you deny the exemption, you go under the normal basis of computation. In our normal basis of computation, we normally compute depreciation also, like in the business. Here they are specifically saying once more, it is obvious that you cannot claim it, sir. It is obvious. But they are ensuring that there is no ambiguity in law that you can here also. Okay. Expenditure, sir.
Loan, when it is paid only you can claim.
Chance இல்லை, இங்க claim பண்ண முடியாது, இங்க claimé பண்ண முடியாது.
If you pay the loan also.
Sir, in the capital expenditure, why have you got loan?
So we couldn't claim the capital expenditure when it is a loan. So only when we repay, when we can.
It is a normal trust. Here you will treat it as a, இப்போ நீங்க ஒரு business associate, ஒரு company, you are getting loan for purchase of asset. When you are repaying the loan, can you claim it as expenditure? அவ்வளவுதான் சார் இப்போ நீங்க. You are a business associate now.
All the transactions.
Okay. நம்ம ரெகுலர் கிளாஸ் ரூம்ல நிறைய பேசலாம். Okay. Next. Expenditure which is disallowed under section 40, that is tedious disallowance, number 48(3) disallowances. Okay, this is how income has to be computed. ஞாபகம் வச்சுங்க, இது can also become a question, can also be, this is like our regular computation. What are all the specified incomes and its consequences? இப்ப நான் எழுதினேன் உங்களுக்கு. I told you last year I have accumulated, last year, I mean this year onwards, sorry, this year onwards, if I am saying that I will spend it in the next year because impracticable to apply, and if I am not spending, if I say that it is accrued but not received, it should be spent in the year of receipt or the immediate next year, not considered. So adukku per dhaan deemed income. It is popularly known as deemed income. Okay, money not kept in the deposited mode, specified violations, books not maintained or audit not performed, you will become, these are, the income will be treated as specified income, and these are taxable under section 115 BBI at 30%. Whenever I am coming under 115 BB, 115 vandale majority of the 115 la expenditure or losses cannot be claimed. 115 la kontra reason adha. For example, in the last day we will see non-resident taxations are there in 115. Interest, royalty, no expenses can be. Sports person, now that IPL is starting, sports person, you know, their interest, they cannot claim any expenses. 20.8% கட்டிட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்க வேண்டியதான். expenses உங்க ஊர்ல claim பண்ணீங்க. 115 ல கொன்றதோட பர்பஸே அதான். You cannot 115Q நேத்தி பார்த்தோம், buyback of shares, additional tax of 20%, the government, the company has to pay plus 12% plus 4%. Okay, you cannot claim any expenditure. And the additional income tax, and normal income tax, adukku pere additional income tax. When I am the question is additional income tax ku. When I am teaching you updated return, I will tell you what is additional income. Additional income tax ni income tax law la use பண்ற எல்லா இடத்துலயும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, this is in addition to your normal income tax payable. This is your in addition to, so அந்த additional income tax நீங்க எதுக்குமே யூஸ் பண்ணிக்க முடியாது. So please understand that. Please understand that. So these are expenditure and losses cannot be allowed. Am I clear to you? Okay. Again, I will give it to you in the material as the answer itself. Now, this is one more important temple is being repair and renovation. Kumbhabhishekam is being organized by in various temples. ஒரு 70% of the temples-ல அவங்களால funds collect பண்றதே ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கு. மிச்சம் இருக்கிற 30%க்கு ஃபண்டா வந்து கொட்டுது. This is the truth. We all know that. Okay, this is the truth that some temples get more funds. Sir, எனக்கு extra fund வந்துருது. Not taxable. Amendment helped them. Okay, நீங்க அதை கார்பஸா டெபாசிட் பண்ணி வச்சிங்க அப்படின்னு. ஓகே, amendment helped them. Okay, somewhere I got the amendment. 1 minute. Yeah, I got it. Voluntary, religious temple, church, voluntary contribution for renovation of a religious trust. Any sum received by such trust or institution as a voluntary contribution for the purpose of renovation or repair be treated by such trust as forming part of corpus. Suppose உங்களால எக்ஸ்ட்ராவா வந்து ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ண முடியல, கார்பஸா எடுத்துன்னு போயிடுங்க. கார்பஸ் தான் எடுத்துன்னு போனா என்ன பண்ணும்? What should I do? I should keep it deposited in the specified mode. If at all I want to use it for repairs and renovation. இதை கொண்டு போய் இன்னொரு ட்ரஸ்ட்டுக்கு டொனேஷன் கொடுக்காது. Okay, subject to the condition applies only for only for the purpose for which it is made, does not apply for donation to another trust, maintain separately identified and invest it in the mode specified, then I will give you this particular deduction. Okay, Ayodhya kagada. Okay, right. So that is why this has been a dynamic section that has been brought around. Okay, am I clear to you? இதெல்லாம் amendments. இதுல என்ன வேணா கொஸ்டின் வரலாம், ஆனா 8 out of 8 முடிஞ்சா 10 out of 8 வாங்குறோம். Okay, be sure that one of the amendment can be the question. One of the amendment can be the question, and I will give it to you all as a answer when I give you the final material. Okay, இதுல நான் கட் பண்ணி பேஸ்ட் பண்ண அவ்வளவுதான். Just a minute. RTP has this question. This question is very interesting. As usual, I have just pasted the question. நம்ம ஆன்சர் பண்ணிட்டு RTP ல பார்ப்போம். Okay, Helpage is a charitable trust registered under 12AB with its main object falling under the residuary clause of objects of any other utility. எதனால இது சொல்றாங்க? Because they only have a restriction of 20% of business. If it is any other, if it is a trust which is falling under the other purposes na enna? 11 has a specific thing. Okay, medical, educational, relief for poor, okay, preservation of monuments, environment, forest including watershed and yoga. Okay, இதெல்லாம் தான் trust which falls under the first category. இவங்க they can have any amount as business income. Obviously medical hospitals will only have, public charitable hospitals are there, they only have business income. Obviously educational institution has business income only. Okay, the last category is general public utility. அவங்களுக்கு தான் they have a restriction that their business income should not exceed 20% of their total income. Now coming back. During the year 22-23, received 80 lakhs as voluntary contribution. The trust also borrowed 40 lakhs from Indian Bank to purchase land for construction of office building where it carries on. In the 40 lakhs income, illa. In the 80 lakhs income. The trust repaid 10 lakhs to Indian Bank on 31/3. This can be claimed as utilization. The trust incurred revenue expenditure 17 lakhs and capital expenditure 60 lakhs. In the capital of 40 lakhs is from loan, 20 lakhs is only considered. Out of the revenue expenditure of 17 lakh, 15 lakh was only paid in 22-23. இதுதான் எடுத்துக்க முடியும். The remaining cannot be taken. During the year, the trust also paid 3 lakh revenue expenditure incurred during 21-22 and 1 lakh revenue expenditure incurred during 2021. These would have been claimed in those respective years. ஏன்னா provision 22 தான். Cash basis of accounting provision came only from Finance Act 22. Till last year, people were claiming, so these cannot be now claimed. These cannot be now claimed. The trust also received 30 lakhs by way of which deposited only 25 lakhs. The trust also withdrew 5 lakhs from post office and applied towards purchase of land. So, அங்க வந்து 20 lakhs பண்ணிருக்கோமா, அது 15 lakhs தான் claim பண்ண முடியும். ஏன்னா corpus donationல 5 lakhs எடுத்திருக்காங்க. ஓகே, இங்க வந்து லோனா ஒரு 40 lakhs, ஞாபகம் வச்சுங்க, லோனா ஒரு 40 lakhs, corpus donationல 5 lakhs யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. ஓகே, the trust has donated to another trust with the main object of education to poor 12 lakhs out of its current income. The trust has applied 2 lakh out of its current year income for medical treatment of the brother of the trustee who met with an accident. Okay, taking note of the above, what would be the application of the trust excluding the 15%, assuming that it has fulfilled? Quick-ஆ போட்டு பார்க்கலாம். Okay, revenue expenditure is 15 lakhs. Revenue is 15 lakhs. Okay, land and building is also 15. எப்படி சொல்றேன்னா 60 minus 40 minus 5, 15. Repayment of loan ஒரு 10. Donation to another trust ஒரு 12. எவ்வளவு சார்? 52 வருது சார். 43, 55, 56 and 16. $10 lakhs principal repayment, 15 lakhs revenue expenditure, capital expenditure 60 minus 40 minus 5. How much?
Out of 30 lakhs, corpus donation, only 25 lakhs has been deposited in
The income.
25 lakhs has been deposited. Balance fine.
Income. அந்த அமௌண்ட் தப்பா எழுதிட்டேன் நான் பார்க்கிறேன். That is, you are saying that Out of the remaining 2 lakhs, out of the revenue expenditure 17 lakh, 15 lakhs was paid in 22-23. The remaining 2 lakhs and 1 lakh was paid in April 23 and Jan 24. You cannot claim it. During the year, the trust has paid 3 lakhs towards revenue expenditure incurred in 21-22 and 1 lakh. Because this is an amendment of Finance Act 22. So in those years, they would have claimed it on accrual basis itself. The law itself says where it has been claimed on accrual, you cannot claim now. 30 lakhs out of which 25 lakh. The trust also withdrew 5 lakhs and applied for okay. The trust has donated to another trust 12 lakhs. 2 lakhs is a seventh question. It says B. 55 lakh. உங்களுக்கு 52 வருதா? அந்த 3 lakhs எடுத்துருக்காங்களான்னு தான் இப்போ ஒரே that 3 lakhs which they have paid this year. 3 lakhs which they have paid this year. Okay, that is during the previous year 22-23, trust has paid 3 lakhs. Okay, towards revenue expenditure of okay. Normally those years, because it's a Finance Act 22 amendment, those years it would have been claimed. I think they have taken that, that's why they are getting 55. I think they have taken that, that's why they are getting 55. Huh?
1 lakh for 1 lakh
In the 1 lakh.
for 2021. Then 4 lakhs revenue.
I have one particular clarification. I'll see the Finance Act and tell you. One minute. The only doubt I have is whether that amendment is with effect from 1/4/21. Okay, that is the only thing I am just looking into. trust or institution under both the regimes means 1023C third category and 11. This is the Finance Act or a clarificatory amendment issued by CBDT, are required to apply 85% of their income. As is evident, the word application, it means actually paid. This is the position which has been held by different courts also. Accordingly, Finance Act 22 has clarified by way of an explanation in both section 1023C and 11 to provide that any sum payable by any trust under the first or second region shall be considered as application in the previous year in which it is actually paid by it, irrespective of the previous year in which the liability has been incurred. It is further proposed to provide that where during any previous year any sum has been claimed to have been applied by such trust, such sum shall not be allowed at the time of actual payment. These amendments are effective from 1st April 22. They always talk about assessment year. They always talk about assessment year. These amendments are applicable from 1st April 22 now, assessment year 22-23. That's why it is applicable from 21-22. That's why this 3 lakhs alone is considered, because these are applicable from Finance Act, applicable from 1st April 22. 1st April 22. நான் இன்னொரு வாட்டி நம்ம இன்ஸ்டியூட் மெட்டீரியலையும் பார்த்துடுறேன். That is why they have taken it as 55 lakhs நினைக்கிறேன். That's why they have taken it as 55 lakh. Anyhow, I will also check once in our material also. Okay, right.
But Finance Act 22, previous 21-22 முடியறதுக்கு முன்னாடி Finance Act 22 வந்து
வந்துருமே. இப்போ Finance Act 23 இருக்கு.
அப்ப அப்ளை பண்ணிருப்பாங்க.
பண்ணிருக்கணும். Not all cases. Not all cases. Okay. This is that clarificatory amendment which has been issued by CBDT. Okay. Applicability, these are applied from 1st July 22. Okay. These amendments are from 1st April 23. Okay. Accordingly, assessment year 23-24. அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு. இந்த கேஸ்ல, that is whatever I read you now. இதெல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா bringing consistency 1st April 23, 1st April 23. இந்த clarifying where application will be allowed, இதுதான் நான் இப்போ உங்களுக்கு படிச்சேன். Okay, this will be allowed during the pay. Any sum has been claimed. These amendments are applicable with effect from 1st April 22. So So it is available from assessment year 22-23. That's what is the small conclusion I derive at. But probably I will also check with our institute material. That's why they have put it as 55 lakh and not taken that 1 lakh. Not taken that 1 lakh. Am I clear to you? Okay. If a trust does not get its books audited before the specified date, what would be the consequence? No deduction would be allowed if the trust fails to get its accounts audited before specified date. Capital expenditure incurred on account of purchase of land for construction of building will not be allowed. Amount donated to another trust will not be allowed. Both capital expenditure and amount donated would not be allowed. Fourth. Okay. So, நாம இப்பதான் எழுதிண்டீங்க நீங்க. What will not be allowed if the audit is capital expenditures will not be allowed 48.3, all those things, and any other donation to any other trust will not be allowed. Will not be allowed. Okay. என்ன சொல்லிருக்கு? 1st April.
நீங்க சொன்னது
that is 22.
Assessment year 22.
In the institute material also it's assessment year 22-23. So you can take that 3 lakhs. அதனால தான் 2021 எடுக்கல, இது மாத்திரம் எடுத்துருக்கு. இன்கம்க்கு கிடையாது. இன்கம்க்கு அதை வந்து நான் யூட்டிலைசேஷன் அதான கிளைம் பண்றேன். அக்ரூட் பட் நாட் ரிசீவ்ட். Income accrued but not received is considered as utilization. It should be used in the year of receipt or expenditure only on payment basis. Income anyhow I am excluding it in my computation. What is that amount which is taxable under? Oh, 1 minute, friends. What confirm பண்ணிக்கிறதுக்காக தான். Okay, 8 is D. 8 is D. Okay. What is the amount of income which would be chargeable under 115 BBI? 2 lakhs தானா? வேற எதுவும் violation இல்லையா? What is the other violation? Corpus donation not kept deposited in a separate account. Corpus donation not kept deposited in a separate account. Okay, 30 lakhs la 25 lakhs தான் நீ பண்ணிருக்கோம். So 7 lakhs. Okay, mark it as C and keep 9C. What is the quantum of penalty that can be levied under 271 AAE? 2 lakhs. Okay, this is the first time it is coming. So 2 lakhs. Payment made to specified persons. Okay, 2 lakhs. Assuming for this purpose, the trust has received 22 lakhs from business while advancing general public utility. What is the tax consequence? அவங்களோட இன்கம் எவ்வளோன்னு இப்ப பார்க்கணும். ஓகே, their income 80 lakhs, voluntary contribution 80 lakhs, my dear friends, that is their income, plus 20 இப்போ plus 5 lakhs is their corpus donation not utilized, plus 22 lakhs, plus 22 lakhs is equal to 1.07 into 20%. 21.4 lakhs. The registration of the trust would be cancelled since it has violated the specified condition, not necessary. And the year oda exemption da pogum. Okay. That registration of the trust would not be cancelled, though the trust would be denied exemption for violating the stipulated condition. The trust would be denied exemption and the entire income would be taxable. Neither the registration would be cancelled nor would it be denied as it has not violated the stipulated condition. B then. We are answering B. Okay. So 7, 8, 9, 10, A. 11 is it has not violated. Total vandudha correct? Can we again check the total, please? Income 80 lakhs. Sorry, 30 lakhs corpus donation, not 5 lakh. 20% of gross receipts. Gross receipts, 30 lakhs, sorry. 30 lakhs corpus donation plus 22 lakhs. Not, I took just the income part of it. It is 20% of gross receipts. I think it is within 20%. Okay, that's why. Please write a small answer and keep 20% of gross receipt.
Specified person's point, even if they return the amount,
it is taxable, sir. Even for the specified person, it is taxable, sir. It is like a dual taxation. In the stamp duty value difference, both for the buyer and the seller taxable. Buyer under inadequate consideration, seller under 43 CA or 50 C. And the mari or provision. 271 A. Am I clear to you? Okay. Now,
first calculation, the gross receipts are considered corpus donation as well. If there is a default or not, you have to
consider. You have to consider. In the voluntary donation, இப்போ நம்ம 115 BBC போடுறோம்ல, the 5% of total donation. It is not, I need not dare split between corpus, non-corpus. 5% of my total donation, I can receive it in otherwise than by approved modes. Okay, right? Yeah, you can take it. It is an income. It is an income. Okay. Yes, sorry. Serving the poor, a charitable trust is registered under 12AB. It got merged with another entity not eligible under 12AB or 1023C. இத மாடியில வச்சிட்டு அதை எடுத்துட்டு வர முடியும். அதுல OBS இருக்கு. இத மாடியில வச்சிட்டு சரணியாட்ட சொல்ல ஒரு நிமிஷம் அதை டிஸ்கனெக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இத மாடியில வச்சிட்டு அதுக்கு all the assets and liabilities of the erstwhile trust becomes the assets and liabilities of the merged entity. Okay, there are some cases in which exit tax becomes applicable. Okay, there are some, okay, this is now applicable for the third category of trust falling under 1023C, where it is wound up. ஒரு ட்ரஸ்ட் டிசால்வ் ஆச்சுன்னா லால என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா within 12 months distribute your assets to another eligible trust. See why? Because I gave you exemption thinking that you will continue. You enjoyed the exemption, now you cannot close and go. If it is merged or converted, or you have modified your objects in such a manner. So in those cases, I will be computing. How I will be computing? Assets minus liabilities. I will take it and levy you at MMR. At MMR. Asset, I will not take few assets. Assets which is acquired out of agricultural income. Asset which is acquired before you are granted exemption, which means you have already paid the tax for it. Okay. Assets which you have distributed within 12 months from the date of dissolution, and any other assets like advance tax, TDS, etc. I will not be able to tax them. Okay, so this is the way in which the law has said. Okay, and otherwise I will be taxing you. All assets and liabilities of the erstwhile trust becomes, so here there is a violation. The trust appointed a registered valuation officer for the assets and liabilities. From the following particulars, calculate the tax liability in the hands of the trust. Stamp duty value of land 15 lakhs. However, if it is sold in the open market, it will fetch 17 lakhs. 17 lakhs should be taken. FMV or stamp duty, whichever is higher, the value of the land in the books is 20 lakhs. 75,000 equity shares in Delhi Stock Exchange. The lower price per share is 75, higher. Average should be taken. 55,000 shares, which if the fair market value will be taken. Corpus fund is not a liability. Outside liability I will take. Provision for taxation is not a liability. Liability for payment of bills I will be taking. Okay. In this case alone, the rate of tax, normally MMR is 42.744%. But in this case alone, the rate of tax will be computed at 34.944%. 34.944%, because they are not taking the highest of 37% surcharge. In the firms and other things, 12% தான் surcharge. So 30 plus 12%, எவ்வளோ வருது? 30 plus 12% of 30 plus 4% HEC, 34.9. இந்த கேஸ்ல மாத்திரம் நார்மலி MMRனா 42.744, but இந்த கேஸ்ல மாத்திரம் 34.944. So let's move ahead. 44 lakhs. Less external liabilities, less external liabilities, 90 lakhs. Okay, liability for utilization bills. Connect ಆಯ್ತಾ? Connect ಅಲ್ಲಿಯಾ? Progressing, my dear friends, progressing. So 8,73,600. Okay. Specify the time limits and various powers available to commissioner, both with regard to approval and cancellation. My dear friends, cancellation தான் நான் உங்களுக்கு சொன்னேன், calling for records and documents. Then okay, some time limits. We need not worry about any trust which is registered under 12AA now to convert, because on the time limit over. For a new trust, the law first ensures that you are provisionally registered, then go for okay complete registration. In the provisionally registered mode, the commissioner is not asking you to submit any documents or other things. You get the provisional registration going without any problem. Only when you go for a permanent registration, the commissioner will call for documents and other things. Okay, right? To just look into the ideas of registration. Okay, provisional registration. After the incorporation of the trust, you can apply it anytime. Okay, and from the date of application, within 1 month, they will give, from the end of the month, within 1 month they will give. Suppose you are applying today, 29th March, they will give you grant from 30th April, 1 month from the end of the month in which application is received. Okay, the order will be passed without any enquiry. They will pass the order, and the registration will be valid for 3 years. அதை வச்சுட்டே போயிடலாமா சார் 3 years? No. You have to apply for complete registration or permanent registration. The time limit is 6 months from the date of commencement of business or commencement of operation or 6 months before the end of the 3-year period, provisional registration period. At least 6 months prior to the provisional registration or 6 months from the date of commencement, whichever is earlier. Now I will do detailed inquiry for which they need time within 6 months from the end of the month in which application is received. Within 6 months from the end of the month in which application is received, because I need to do some detailed inquiry, and it will be valid for 5 years unless it is cancelled. Okay, everything from there on is 5 years. Renewal is again, you need to obtain renewal within 6 months, and they will grant it within 6 months, and that will be valid for a period of 5 years. If you make a modification of your trust deed, now so far relief for the poor and education vice versa, 6 months, 6 months, 5 years. Am I clear to you? Sorry, 1 month, 6 months, 5 years. Okay, 1 month, 6 months, 5 years. Okay, similar to our originally when they got registered and then they are. Okay, so these are all the guidelines. Revival of operation. Okay, these are all the guidelines. சும்மா அப்படி ஞாபகம் வச்சுங்க, ஒரு காலம் நாளை போட்டு நான் எழுதி கொடுத்துறேன் உங்களுக்கு. So that if at all there is a need, you can look into it. Okay, the provisional registration, as I told you, will be granted without any detailed inquiry. At the time you are applying for permanent registration, okay, he has to get himself satisfied with the genuineness of activity, with the real charitable nature of activity. At that time he will call for books, documents, trustee nature of trustees, etc., and then only grant you the registration. That is at the time of final registration. Okay, and when will registration be cancelled? As I told you, apart from the specified violations and other things, I told you, if it is used for a particular religion or caste, the registration will be cancelled. Which trust? Trust which are registered under section 11. Trusts which are registered under 1023C can only do that. If they are registered under 11 and that is acting, okay, so and all the other general conditions which you make are the reasons for cancellation. In the administrative provisions, as I told you, in the specified violation 143(3), assessing officer referring the case to principal commissioner calling for records within 6 months, he has to complete from the month from the end of the quarter in which notice is issued. He has to complete and he has to communicate. These are all the things you need to remember with regard to trust. The questions will be in and around here only, 6 to 8 marks for sure from trust. Am I clear? Okay, right. The other part of the sure shot question includes TDS. கேஸ் லா ரிலேட்டடா இந்த வாட்டி வராதுன்றது தான் என்னோட ஒப்பீனியன். எல்லா கேஸ் லாவையும் கேட்டு போர் அடிச்சு போயிட்டு இருக்கு அவங்களுக்கு. இந்த ஜப்பான் ஏர்லைன்ஸ் கேஸ்ல ஜப்பான்ல கேஸ் போட்டுருவான்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அதுக்கு மேல சப்போஸ் ஏதோ ஒரு வாட்டி தோத்துட்டோம், அதுக்கு இப்படியா? ஓகே, அண்ட் தி ஸ்டாம்ப் வெண்டார்ஸ், that commission that is paid, okay, Kotak Mahindra where some trading other. So I don't think it is going to be a case law related question. 194, what are all the amendment to look into in trust? Salaries does not have an amendment. 194 192A PF does not have any amendment. அடுத்த வருஷம் தான் ஒரு amendment இருக்கு. 194 A, B, BB, C, D, DA, okay, E for sports persons, G commissions, H commission, I will not have any amendment. IA is the first section where we had an amendment of actual consideration or stamp value, whichever. If the stamp value exceeds also 1% of it. Okay. In the actual consideration, which is not an amendment, which is already there, which I saw RTP question also. I pay 48 lakhs for purchase of building. I pay 48 lakhs for purchase of a building. I pay 1 lakh for amenities, 1 lakh for some common area. Should I deduct tax at source? Yes. It has exceeded, it has reached 50. Okay. So it is not just the total consideration paid by whatever name. The total consideration paid by whatever name will be coming there. Okay. Right. Coming back. Okay. IB 194 IB. I'll tell you what the amendment with regard to 194 IB, IA and all, because you will find it in the but you will wonder what is that amendment. I'll come to that. Then comes I see there is no amendment. J, there is no amendment. Okay, L, M, all those things are normal. N is cash withdrawal. O is for payment by operators to participants, e-commerce operator. P is that specified senior citizen, 75 years of age, who is going to have only two sources of income, that is pension and deposit, and from the same bank. Then the bank will do like an employer. He will compute the tax and you need not file the return. Okay. 194Q related to 206C 1H. One of them will be deducting tax, 50 lakhs criteria, 10 crores. Okay. Then comes this R section, which is what is the question? RS or the newly introduced. IA is amended. Okay. RS or newly introduced sections. Any benefit or perquisite provided by a person to another person, tax needs to be deducted. First, let's overall understand, then go for the questions. Tax needs to be deducted. Threshold limit 20,000. Threshold limit 20,000. Rate of deduction 10%. I need not worry whether the benefit or perquisite I am giving, whether he is treating it as income or not, whether it is capital or not, whether it is taxable or not. I need not worry. I am supposed to deduct tax at source. Where the benefit is provided in kind, then the two options that are available to me is collect the tax and remit it, or ask him to submit the proof of paying the tax, which is nothing but advance tax challan, and then only provide in the article. Similarly, this is also for 194S, exchange of virtual digital assets. Similarly, where the consideration is partly in cash and partly in kind, and the cash portion is not sufficient to cover the whole of the TDS, the same manner. Is everything covered here? No. If it is in the form of trade discount, if it is in the form of some quantity discount, on those things you are not liable to deduct tax at source. Banks giving waiver, banks providing waiver, though it is a perquisite or benefit, we saw in the first day's class itself. Suppose I am waiving off a trading liability. Unga books la, for the businessman it is an income, which means bank has provided the perquisite. It has provided the income, but that doesn't mean bank is liable to deduct tax at source because of undue hardship. They said no. Then came streak of circulars. The crux of the circulars I'm telling you, suppose I'm an influencer. Okay, they are giving me a product. For speaking about the product. Is it a benefit or perquisite? No doubt, yes. If I am supposed to return after the speaking about the product, then no tax liability be deducted. If I am going to retain it, then there is a tax deduction at source. So it is a benefit or perquisite. I am organizing dealer conferences. Is it a benefit or perquisite? Depends. Depends on what? Is it pure leisure trip? Then deduct tax at source. No, is it pure business trip? What do I mean by business trips? I'm just introducing a product to them. I'm just talking about the expansion of my business, expansion of the product. I accept that this is purely business, you need not. Should all dealers participate? No, it can be selected dealers also, not an issue. No perquisite goes to the dealer. What happens to their stay expenses? 1 day before, 1 day after is allowed only for the dealer. If they are going to have extended stay, that extended period is known as a perquisite, tax has to be deducted. If dealer is attending along with family members, it should be deducted. What happens if I cannot ascertain the perquisite value? I am throwing open a party where all dealers participate and the party expenses comes to 20 lakhs. Dealer A எவ்வளோ, B எவ்வளோ, C எவ்வளோ, D எவ்வளோ, என்னால அப்போர்ஷன் பண்ண முடியல. What happens? Law கூலா சொல்லித்து. Apportion பண்ணு, இல்லாட்டி no problem. You are not able to apportion, don't claim the expense. Law says, don't claim. That's all. If you are unable to apportion, you don't claim the expenditure. How do I determine the perquisite value? Monetary, simple. Non-monetary, in kind. Whatever is the purchase price, if I am purchasing and giving, whatever is the purchase price. If I am manufacturing and providing, manufacturing cost illa, had I sold it to another person, what price I would, fair market value. இதுக்குள் தான் question. Okay, these are all the crux of the circular. Let's start answering. I'm there in page number 29. In the final material that I will give you, there will be some page number changes. The reason is very simple. And the மேட்டோட ஃபார்மட்டை முன்னாடி போட்டிருக்கேன். நேத்தி நான் உங்கள்கிட்ட சொன்ன மாதிரி REIT-யோட ஃபார்மட்டை கொஞ்சம் முன்னாடி போட்டிருக்கேன். அதனால some page number changes will be there. Brother Laboratories Limited has the following question to you and want to understand the impact of tax. Only monetary perquisite or benefit provided shall be considered for tax deducted source. No, even non-monetary. Okay, false. A gold coin provided to a medical practitioner whose value, the value of which is 26,000, is not subject to tax, as neither it is monetary nor a false. Okay, false. Okay, tax has to be either collected or proof of tax payment should be provided before releasing the article. Before releasing the article. The threshold limit 20,000. Only those benefits or perquisites which are taxable for the receiver is liable to TDS? No. It may be capital, revenue, taxable, not taxable. The provider has to deduct tax. Huh? Sir, இல்ல சார், ஒரு pharmaceutical company gives it to a third party. Patient னே வெச்சுங்களேன், அது gift sir. Pharmaceutical company provides it to a doctor. For the doctor, section 28, perquisite or benefit derived in the course of carrying on business or profession. PGBP. So, this is false. It can be anything. A few dealers of the company is provided with trade discount and cash discount. No, it will not be treated as a perquisite. It will not be treated as a perquisite. No TDS. For a medical practitioner, the company provided its own goods as freebies. Its own goods as freebies. How to arrive at the tax deduction? Fair market value. Had it been sold outside, what would be the value it will fetch? That will be known as the, that will be taken as the perquisite value and tax has to be deducted at source. Shall I? There are some of their medicine, especially pain bonds, which are sold over the counter, which means you don't need a prescription, OTC medicines. The company identify a famous doctor who is also a chief influencer in the media market. Some medicines are given to the said doctor for promotion. How the same is to be treated? Where the influencer returns the goods, then it will not be treated as perquisite. Where the influencer returns the goods, then it will not be treated as perquisite. Where the influencer retains it, then the fair market value will be treated as perquisite. Then the fair market value will be treated as perquisite and tax needs to be deducted at source.
Is there any time limit for the return?
No, there's no specific time limit mentioned. It's a good question. There's no specific time limit. Company organized a conference for introducing their new products and also to discuss on betterment. The expenses of participants were, is the company liable to deduct tax at source? Okay, I'll write a detailed answer. Question 8. Okay. Since the conference is purely for official purposes, TDS liability does not arise. TDS liability does not arise. stay period of participants can maximum extend to 1 day before and 1 day after the date of conference. Stay period of the participants can maximum extend to 1 day before and 1 day after the date of conference. Okay, 1 day before and 1 day after the date of conference. Where there is any further stay period, then it becomes a perquisite. Also friends, what I have not written is family members accompany பண்ணக்கூடாது. பண்ணா and the family members cost will become perquisite. Okay.
All the rent stay.
No, all the 3 days exempt. The bank has waived some loan of the bank went through tough times during. Is that no? Okay. Waiver of loan, even though a perquisite, will not be taxable. Waiver of loan, even though a perquisite, is not liable for TDS. What happens if the conference organized is on a total spend basis and the company is unable to identify per dealer benefit? இதுதான் okay. The circular issued by CBDT, mandates the company to identify per dealer benefit. Where it fails to identify expenses cannot be claimed. If any capital asset is received as perquisite, can the same be recorded as asset and depreciation be claimed by the receiver? Okay. Where the receiver is carrying on business or profession, the capital assets so received can be recorded at fair market value. The capital assets so received can be recorded at fair market value. Full stop. Continue. Depreciation can be claimed based on its usage. One of the question which I missed out, which the circular says like this. Please understand. The pharmaceutical company, for example, circular pharmaceutical company. Okay. The pharmaceutical company provides perquisite to a doctor. For the doctor, it will be treated as income. For the pharmaceutical company, 194R is applicable. Maybe the expenses might also be disallowed for them, depending upon the purpose. The pharmaceutical company gives the benefit to the hospital, and the hospital which in turns gives it to the doctor. I am repeating. The pharmaceutical company provides the benefit to the hospital. Hospital in turn provides it to the doctor. As far as the pharmaceutical company is concerned, 194R. As far as the pharmaceutical company is concerned, 194R. Go, bring the doctor, bring the hospital now. Hospital provides to the doctor. And the doctor unga employee, Ama, 192. Perquisite provider, salaries. And the doctor and employee, consultant, 194J. Okay. Even though the doctor is my consultant, I am not paying to him in terms of consultancy fees or etc. I am also providing it as a benefit, 194R. எல்லா கேஸ்லயும் rate of tax 10% தான் வரும் salary தவிர. Okay. The pharmaceutical company in turn providing will come either under 192 or 194J or 194R. Having said that, the circular, our institute material is directly saying, why do you want to enter into it? Let directly the pharmaceutical company pay the doctor. Otherwise, too tedious. Otherwise, the same benefit is suffering two hands tax deduction at source. Instead, if they directly pay, 194R alone will stand. This is one thing which I missed it out. Please remember this. Idukkulla questions, but sure short question. R. ஏன் வரும்னு கேக்குறியா? ஒரு கன்சல்டன்ட் தான் அந்த டாக்டர். ஓகே, அந்த டாக்டருக்கு கன்சல்டன்சி ஃபீஸ் ஆர் இன் லியோ ஆஃப் கன்சல்டன்சி ஃபீஸ் கொடுத்தா 194J. நானும் அந்த டாக்டர் நல்லா பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணதுனால நானும் அதை ஒரு பர்குசிட் மாதிரி கொடுத்தேன்னா 194R. பட் 194JRக்குள்ள நீங்க நமக்கு கன்ஃபியூஸ்டே வேணாம், both are 10%. Okay. If there is a if there is a difference between 194R and 194J, if there is a battle, 194J will prevail and not R. But that doesn't matter namukku. That doesn't matter. Okay. And 194R ku innonu sollirren, recipient should be a resident assessee. Non-resident na 195 ku poidum. Okay. Recipient should be a resident assessee for 194R. May I? Question number 22, TDS random provision. On 26/22, Mr. X, a resident, entered into 3 separate transactions for acquiring property in Mumbai for 90 lakhs, urban plot in Calcutta for 4950, and rural agricultural land for a consideration of 60 lakh. Stamp duty are 95, 48 and 65. Okay. By this time you are very much used to me. So in the question type படிக்கும்போது எனக்கு ஆர்வம் அந்த கொஸ்டினை முடிக்கணும்னு இருக்காது. What should be the TDS அப்படின்னு கேட்டிருக்கணும். எனக்கு கொஸ்டின்ல இருக்கிற கிரியேட்டிவிட்டி போயிடக்கூடாது. Okay, so TDS. Let me tell you. 90 lakhs or 95 lakhs, whichever is higher, into 1%. Whichever is higher into 194IA. 90 or 95, whichever is higher, into 1%. 49, 50, 48, no TDS because it has not exceeded the threshold of 50 lakhs. because it has not exceeded the threshold of 50 lakhs. Rural agriculture land is not covered in the 194 IA. So for that also no TDS irrespective of the stamp duty etc. For that also no TDS. Repeating, only for Y the TDS is applicable. The other two, Mr. C and Mr. D, no TDS. One, it is not exceeding the threshold. Next, it is rural agriculture land which is not covered under 194 IA. Am I clear? Okay. Who is a specified person for 194? Yes, and why it is important? Yesterday, that's the material mistake also I did. Okay. 194, yes, okay. The normal threshold limit is 10,000. The normal threshold limit is 10,000. However, in the case of specified person, it is 50,000. However, in the case of specified person, it is 50,000. Full stop. Continue. Specified person is one. Is a specified person is an individual or HUF. Is an individual or HUF whose gross turnover does not exceed 1 crore or gross receipt does not exceed 50 lakhs in the immediately preceding financial year. Okay. Third, exchange of digital assets between two individuals. How does the provision of TDS applicable? Other conditions being satisfied, both of them are liable to direct taxes. The threshold limit idella satisfy ana both other conditions being satisfied, both of them are liable to deduct tax at source. Taking FMV as the value of VDA. Where there is a transaction which is covered both under 194O and 194S, which will be dealt with. 194O rate of taxation jasti. Okay, 194O will be the driving section. A airline company issued mileage points to its frequent travelers. Will it be covered under 194? Yes, no. No. Mileage point, loyalty cards, okay, the scratch card, okay, these things will not be covered, okay, these things will not be covered under gift coupons. The law will not be covered under 194. Yes. Am I clear? Otherwise, 194, yes, we all know we need to deduct on the total consideration. We need to deduct 1% of the total consideration. Remember that. Mr. Harsh has to pay 3 lakhs to plan your trip, a travel agency, for a holiday package in Singapore and Malaysia for himself and his wife. Okay, TCS provisions will be applicable. TCS provisions will be applicable. Okay, overseas tour and travel, OTP, overseas tour program. அதுக்கப்புறம் any overseas remittance. I will take your time. Overseas tours and travels, no threshold limit. No threshold limit. Whereas for others, any other remittances, threshold limit is 7 lakhs. Over and above 7 lakhs only, TDS is at the rate of 5%. 5%. If it is education alone, it is 0.5%. Okay, some more than 7 lakhs. Yeah. So he has to pay 3 lakhs. He obtained a loan of rupees 10 lakhs for higher education of his son from the Columbia University. He from SBA and remitted under LRS of RBI. The said sum through the same bank, which is also an authorized dealer. Is tax required to be collected at source by from Mr. Harsh by the travel agency and the bank? If so, how much? If so, சொல்லிட்டாலே பண்ணணும்னு அர்த்தம். Okay, okay, right? So ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம், RTP கொஸ்டின் நினைக்கிறேன், அப்படியே போயிடலாம். Okay, whatever it is. For plan your trip, yes, in both the cases, tax is liable to be deducted. For plan your trip, for the tax is liable to be collected by the person. For plan your trip, 5% of 3 lakhs. For the other, it is for educational purposes. So up to 7 lakhs nil on the amount exceeding 7 lakhs, 0.5%. Shall I? Okay. On 17/6/22, a commission of 50,000 was resigned by the company, by the consignee, and not remitted to the consignor while limiting the sale consideration. Nothing can be done. The consignor has to at least write a debit note. Consignor is liable to deduct tax at the rate of 5%. Consignor is liable to deduct tax at the rate of 5% as the commission exceeds 15,000. Okay, okay. Next. Mr. Anand has been running a sole proprietor business with a turnover of 202 lakhs. Okay, for assessment year 21-22, it has exceeded 1 crore. So the 194 applicable. He pays a monthly rent of 15,000 for the office to Mr. R, the owner of the building. Service charges of 6,000 to Mr. R towards the use of furniture, fixtures and vacant land opportunity there too. Okay, according to 194I, quickly. According to 194I, the total rent paid for a particular owner, the total rent paid for a particular owner if it exceeds 2,40,000. If it exceeds 2,40,000, then tax is liable to be deducted. Then tax is liable to be deducted. Correct? Okay. In the case like it has exceeded, okay, he pays 15,000 as rent, 6,000, so 21,000. He is liable to deduct tax at source. Okay, இப்போ ரெண்டு மூணு விஷயங்கள் சொல்றேன் குயிக்கா அப்படி. 40,000 rent paid to two people, joint owners, 2020, no tax, because per owner it has not exceeded 20,000. But here, for the same owner, all put together, it has exceeded. இப்போ இதையே இன்னொரு எக்ஸ்ட்ராவா சொல்றேன். இந்த இடத்துல நான் ஃபர்னிச்சர்னு கொடுக்கிறதுக்கு பதிலா if I have given machinery, then understand 15,000 into 12 into 10%, 6,000 into 12 into 2%. For machinery and equipment, it is only 2%. 194I, the rates are, okay, only 2% for machinery and equipment. So, in that case, so, owner ke exceed ஆயிடுது, ஆனா rate ரெண்டு rateல பிடிப்பேன். ஒன்னு 10%, இன்னொன்னு 2%. Is the class clear? Okay. X limited. Okay, quickly you can write down. Okay. Shall I? In the particular parts, that is whatever we are not detailedly working out, whatever ஒரு எக்ஸாமுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு 2x ஸ்பீட்ல கேட்டா கூட யூ கேன் ரீகலெக்ட். ஓகே, ஒரு 2 hours லெக்சர் ஒரு 1 hourல நீங்க அப்படி காதுல போட்டுன்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா சுவாமி ஸ்ரீவத்சனாந்தா லெக்சர் கேட்கிறேன்னு உலகம் பேசிட்டோம். X Limited, whose gross turnover is rupees 14 crores for financial year 21-22, purchased goods worth 96 lakhs from Y Limited, which has a turnover of 12 crores in financial year 21-22. Specified if there is any TDS impact on the said transaction. Okay. For X Limited, who is the purchaser, he has to pay 194 yes. 194Q, sorry, 194Q. For Y Limited, who is a 206C 1H. ஆனா இது ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் கிளாஷ் வந்ததுன்னா ஆல்வேஸ் TDS will only prevail. TDS will only prevail. worst case scenario லால ஒரே ஒரு எக்ஸெப்ஷன், நீ TDS பிடிக்கல, அவன் TCS கலெக்ட் பண்ணிட்டான், பரவாயில்ல விடு, ரெண்டுமே 0.1% on the amount exceeding 50 lakhs. No problem. ஓகே, ஒரு எக்ஸெப்ஷனலா தான் அது கொடுத்துருக்காங்களே தவிர அதை நீங்க எழுதக்கூடாது ஆன்சரா. பட் ஒருவேளை அப்படி கேட்டாங்கன்னா அதுக்கு அந்த ஆன்சர் தான். ஓகே, so in this case X Limited is liable to deduct tax at source at the rate of 0.1% on 46 lakhs. 0.1% on 46 lakhs. Suppose if Y Limited has not given PAN, double the okay, double the rate or 1%, whichever is for TCS. Okay, sorry, 5%. Yeah, sorry. Okay, where Y Limited does not provide PAN, எழுதி வெச்சிங்க, where Y Limited does not provide PAN, then okay, then 5%. 5%. Okay, then 5%. In the second part of the question, 10th question, In the above question, will your answer change? X Limited is okay having a turnover of only 9 crores. Yes, because 194Q is not applicable. 194Q applicable if the turnover of the assessee has exceeded 10 crores in the preceding financial year. Only 194Q or 206C 1H for that purpose that okay exceed. So 1 but 206C 1H will be applicable where Y Limited will collect tax at the rate of 0.1%. Okay, or where it is not given 1%, the PAN not provided 1%. TAM Electronics Limited, an Indian company, imports certain computer software from Jam Electronics Incorporation, a non-resident based in USA, for reselling it to the end user in India. TAM Electronics paid a sum of 85 crores to Jam Electronics. No, okay, import and export are not covered under 194Q and 206C 1H respectively. Import and exports are not covered under 194Q and 206C 1H respectively. TEHP Limited, a public sector bank in India, paid 20 crores to an organization that provides ATM network to the banks as commission for facilitating ATM credit or debit card. NGFS Limited also facilitates online convenience banking. It links together the country's ATM in a single network. Is tax liable to be deducted at source? The answer is yes. The answer is it's a professional services which are being done by them. Okay, I think it should be a RTP question. Where did I take the questions from? Sure. One minute, friends. It should be RTP because I remember picking it from RTP. This is 11, question number 11, that Harsh question. That we never had a doubt. Okay, not a problem. Okay, not an issue. This is taxable answer. I remember the answer, but I'll try to get the question base also. This is taxable at 10%. This is a professional services rendered. Okay, this is a professional services rendered. This is, we should not confuse, because 194 N-ல நிறைய exceptions இருக்கும். இந்த ATM operators-க்கு cash pay, அது cash. இது வந்து they are giving for facilitating ATM debit card and credit card online banking services. This is a professional services rendered. 194J, they are taxable at 10%. Tax is liable to be deducted at source at 10%. Sir, இது purchase and sales க்கு இது கிடையாது சார், TDS கிடையாது சார், இன்டர்நேஷனல் இதுல. Okay, in fact, income does not accrue or arise for in India. உங்களுக்கு export பண்ணாலும் சரி, import பண்ணாலும் சரி, I am importing. Let us take that their cost is 60 lakhs, I am importing for 70 lakhs. That 10 lakhs is not taxable in India. Income does not accrue or arise in India. For the purpose of reselling, goods, only if it is used as a platform, it will not. Here it's for the purpose of reselling goods. Am I clear? Mr. A received an order from PQR Limited to stitch t-shirts. To complete such order, he purchased cloth of 35 lakhs from Fashion Limited. He stitched a t-shirt as per the specification. He raised a consolidated invoice of 40 lakhs. Okay, Fashion Limited is closely related to PQR Limited. This is 194C contracts. 194C contract. Allow me to explain you for a minute. What is a contract? If I do purely job work, it is known as a contract. Okay, contract for work. Okay, how do I say? The law just says, look for who is supplying raw material. If raw materials are supplied by the customer, what the job worker does is mere processing and selling it back. It will be TDS liability will arise. But the customer merely places the order. The job worker procures the raw material, processes it and gives. This is pure sales. Having said this, the law in 21 amended. The law in 21 itself amended, where raw material is supplied by customer or any relative of that customer as defined under 48(2). Then also what the job worker does is only pure job work. He received the order from PQR. He purchased goods from Fashion Limited. Fashion Limited is a related party of the customer. So TDS provisions under 194C is applicable. He is an individual. 1% is the TDS. 1% is the tax. If the receiver is an individual, 1%, others 2%. 194C. Shall I? You understood, right? Even if it is supplied by the relative of that person, it becomes taxable. Mr. David, a Canadian citizen and a non-resident sportsperson, received the following sum. Income from participation 194E 20.8%. Writing articles 194E 20.8%. Two places where HEC will also be added is for residents 192 salaries. All payment to non-residents. Okay. State government of Telangana grants a lease of coal mine on 1922 and charged 10 crores for the lease. Messrs. XYZ Limited sold coal of 1 crore to AB Private Limited. The turnover of XYZ and AB amounted to 5 crores and 6 crores respectively. Lease of coal mine. Lease one TCS provision. Okay, lease of coal mine will come under the TCS provisions. I closed something. Okay, 1% will be the lease of coal mines. Okay, 1% will be the lease. Sorry, mining. Lease of coal mine inga varum 2%. Sorry, 2%. All leases will come under 2%. Okay, so Telangana government will collect 2% on the lease charges. But 206C 1H varadu, 194Q varadu, because their respective turnovers has not exceeded 10 crores. Their respective turnovers has not exceeded 10 crores in the immediate financial year. So that will not come. Who is a specified person under 206AB and 206CCA? Okay, again, one of the important questions in TCS. Enna amendment? I am going to penalize the non-filers. I am going to penalize non-filers of returns using the TDS and TCS route. போன வருஷம் வரைக்கும், if you don't file for 2 years, then this provision of 206AB and 206CCA is applicable. From this year, if you don't file for 1 year, for which the due date of filing return has lapsed, for which the due date of filing returns has lapsed, ஒரு பேமெண்ட் ஏப்ரல் 22ல பே பண்றேன், ஜூலை 22 வரைக்கும் லாப்ஸ் இருக்கு, 21-22க்கு, அக்டோபர் 22 வரைக்கும் டைம் இருக்கு. So I should only look at 2021 return. Have you filed it? Have you filed your 2021? Till last year it was 1920 and 2021. Whereas for the current year it is only 2021 whether you have filed or not. If you have not filed, adu mathram illa condition, and your TDS exceeds 50,000 and your TDS exceeds 50,000, this extra taxation you are getting. This extra taxation you are getting. Am I clear to you? Okay, twice the rate. Twice the rate you are liable to pay இப்பதான் நான் உங்களுக்கு ஒன்னு சொல்லணும். 2 or 3 things நான் consecutive சொல்றேன். Again I will repeat. This provision only is not applicable for that 194 IB, IA, இந்த மாதிரி நான் பிசினஸ் கேசஸ்லாம் எடுத்து 194M அவங்க எல்லாரையும் இந்த கேஸ்ல எடுத்துட்டாங்க. ஓகே, அவங்களுக்குலாம் இந்த stringent provision வேண்டாம். Number 1. Number 2, how do I know whether he has filed the return or not? Today it is transparent. You can approach, you can get it. Okay, it is transparent whether the person has filed this return or not. You need not get it from him itself. It is transparent. 3, suppose that person does not have the PAN also. Suppose that person does not have the PAN also. Which is the prevailing section? PAN is the prevailing section. 20% is the rate of taxes. 20% is the rate of taxes. My dear friends, $206CCA for higher rate for non-filing of return of income. This provision is applicable if the person from whom tax has to be collected at source has not furnished a return in the immediate preceding year for which the due date has expired and the TCS amount is 50,000 or more. $206AB. Okay, this provision is applicable for a person who has not filed the return of income for the immediate preceding the for which the due date has expired. Okay, and the aggregate tax deduction has exceeded 50,000. In both the cases, the tax at twice the rate or at 5%. Okay, whichever is applicable. These are not applicable for these things. Plus இந்த வாட்டி 194 IA இதெல்லாம் ஆட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. Okay, so why I am making this clear is now since there is an amendment, they might question you, PAN available இல்லனா இந்த section இல்ல, that 20% will only be the rate of tax. Am I clear to you? A quick summary in your notebook. Okay, 194R, 194S, 194IA, 206AB, CCA. இது நாலுத்துலயும் சேர்ந்து ரெண்டு கொஸ்டின், இன்னொரு one question or two question general provision. I don't think there will be a case law question this time. I don't think, because there is sufficient to 194R sure அப்படின்னு தான் நான் நினைக்கிறேன். Okay, right? 17th. What are all the minimum advance taxes payable per installment in order to avoid 234C interest? 12%, 36%, 7,500. Though in the first two installments, I am liable to pay 15% and 45%. Normally, advance tax installments are 15, 45, 75, 100. But one way of avoiding 234C interest is in the first two installments, if I pay just 12% and 36% of tax due, okay, then I need not pay 234C even if there is a shortfall as compared to 15 and 45. 234 ABC working, when I am doing updated return, I will work out and show you again. Okay, right. 18th question. For the quarter ending 30th September, a sum of 10,000 was deducted by the assessee. Assessee files the statement of ETDS only on 23rd December. Specify the quantum of interest payable. Also specify whether the assessee can claim the said interest as deduction. இல்ல ராஜா, இது TDS லேட்டா பண்ணல. 1.5% நீ சொல்றது கரெக்ட். தட் இஸ் ஃபார் TDS, லேட் ரெமிட்டன்ஸ் ஆஃப் TDS. இது வந்து delay in filing of ETDS returns. ETDS returns has to be filed within 1 month from the end of the quarter. Within 1 month from the end of the quarter. 30th September quarter ends, before 31st October, they should have filed. Otherwise, it is a continuous offense. It is a continuous offense. Interest is 100 rupees or 200? 200 rupees per day. 200, and however, the maximum should not exceed the tax deducted at source. In the case la November la 30 days, December la 23 days, totally 53 days into 200 comes to 10,600. So it cannot exceed 10,000. So 10,000 will be the penalty interest he will be paying. And interestingly, 234E interest can be claimed as a business deduction. Normally, interest under 234A, B, C, fees under 234F, இதெல்லாம் claim பண்ண முடியாது. இதெல்லாம் claim பண்ண முடியாது. Please understand, you cannot claim deduction for 234A, B, C, okay, income tax and related income tax. In one of the popular judgments, 234E interest alone is given as an exception. There is a difference between my tax I am paying late, I pay interest, it is not allowed as deduction. TDS is her tax I have. TDS alone is her tax I have, I am paying it late. This interest, penalty always disallowed, interest always allowed. Interest on GST allowed, penalty on GST not allowed. Interest on PF allowed. Interest is intra-virus law, so it will be allowed. But normally interest under income tax law will not be allowed except to 234E interest, which can be claimed as a deduction. Which can, because it is another person's tax and not your own tax which you have late paid. So that interest you can claim it as a business deduction, and the mode of computation is this.
PF employees contribution.
Employers contribution. Messrs. Vayu Limited, a manufacturers of luxury cars, sold 50 cars to a dealer at a price of 25 lakhs, 20 cars to a customer at the case of 23 lakhs. Friends, the question now is TCS, TDS again. 206C, 1C, 1D, 1F. 1F is for motor car. If the value of the car exceeds 10 lakhs, then I am liable to collect tax at source. then I am liable to collect tax at source. However, if the sale is made to a dealer, it is not the ultimate user. If it is made to a dealer, then this provision will not be applicable. That is, TCS will not be applicable. So, if the dealer பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் 50 cars into 25 lakhs, 50 cars into 25 lakhs, 1250 lakhs, he might be required to collect tax at source under 206C1H, or the dealer might be deducting tax under 194Q. Okay, either the dealer will be deducting tax at 190 if other conditions are fulfilled, or the company should collect tax on a 206C1F கிடையாது. Where it is sold to the ultimate consumer, 206C1F will prevail and not 206C1H. Rating அதிகம். Okay, so 206C1F when it is given to the customer. Sale of scrap and its if you have written that, I'll go to that. Sale of scrap and its exception. My dear friends, tax is liable to be collected at 1%. However, if the scrap is going to be used for manufacturing purposes, however, if the scrap is going to be used for manufacturing purposes, then no TCS. No TCS. Okay, one more exception is that this Priya Village Roadshow, is Priya Blue Metals. Okay, shipping, Priya shipping, where if a ship is broken and that parts are going to be rebuilt for another ship, அப்ப scrap இல்லையே சார், scrap na it cannot be used, so it will not be considered. Am I clear to you? Okay, if the said goods are for the purpose of manufacturing, processing or generation of power, it will not be. Am I clear to you? So these are some tedious TCS related questions. About advanced tax, I will work out 234 ABC in updated written. I will work out 1 or 2 questions and show you how these things will work. Okay, with that we complete the almost 60% of our direct taxation paper. The last 10 marks of appeals, assessment procedure, we will do it in the next class, and then go for international taxation, before which I would have given you the case law material also. Yesterday I was unable to upload because I left the laptop here. Today I will upload both the lectures. Again, because of my throat only, I need to stop. I will meet you day after tomorrow morning 6:30 here. All the best, friends.